Hello, and welcome to my channel. You already know what this video is going to be about. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. I didn't predict this. I didn't think it was possible. I was hoping against hope that we would have this result, but it would just be too perfect. I thought there was no way. In her first season, really running competitively in the 400, I thought there was no way. It would just be too good. It would be too much of a fairy tale. But apparently, in all that thinking, I forgot that this is Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone we're talking about, and there is nothing that this woman cannot do. I once saw a TikTok commenter, I think, say that they believed Sydney McLaughlin could have every women's world record from 200 to 800. And I was like, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And she's a 400 hurdler, and that's her thing. It's the 400 hurdles. And I still think that's crazy, but a little less so now than I did 48 hours ago. Although, to be fair, after we saw the destruction that she unleashed, finally breaking that American record in the semifinal, we knew we were in for something special. She tipped her hat, she showed her cards, and we knew this is going to be something special. And some people were even saying we might see this event under 48 for the first time in 40 years. But everybody thought, no, that would just be, it would be too good. It would be too incredible, too fantastical. We can't have our expectations that high. But no matter how high your expectation, this race delivered on every level. Sydney McLaughlin, 47.78. I will use the commentator's favorite word for Monder Duplantis for this. Was it ever in doubt? Because from the second she was out of the blocks, she was in the lead, and she just didn't give it up the entire race. And she never let her foot off the gas. I mean, you couldn't, because Paulina was right behind her, also running inside 48 seconds, 47.98. Both of them getting national records, because how could you not? But that 47.78 is the fastest time we have seen in 40 years, and the second fastest time in history. The only time faster, Marta Cox of East Germany. We all know what that means. And this was October 6th, 1985. I'll say that again, October 6th, 1985. The only other person before today who had run under 48 seconds was Jarmila Kratochvílová in 1983. It's insane. It's so incredible, and obviously we have Nasir and we have Paulino who have been there this whole time on those 3 and 4 spots, but it felt like they were miles back. It felt like it would never happen. It would never all come together, because it was always Paulino versus Nasir, and one of them was always in better form. One of them was always better conditioned. It wasn't always the same one, but it was always one of them. And it denied us for so long of the battle that could have given us sub 48 until Sydney McLaughlin decides, I already know I can dominate the 400 hurdles. What about the 400 flat? And honestly, I feel bad for even doubting her, but also looking back at her season, at her times, and at the fact that this was her first season running the 400 in global competition. I mean, she ran well. Obviously, she's Sydney McLaughlin. She'll run well at whatever she does. But at US Championships, she ran a 48.90. You know, keep in mind the American record that didn't fall until the semifinals in Tokyo. And other than that, this season, she'd run a 49.91, and she'd run a couple of other decent times, 49.43. She'd run here and there, and she's also obviously someone who doesn't like to race a lot, but the times that we did see were incredibly impressive, but they weren't second fastest of all time impressive. But that's what Sydney does. She goes out and she just absolutely does the thing that you thought was impossible. Because many people hoped and believed a lot more than I did, but I don't think anyone was really sure. And the rest of this race, I mean, absolutely loaded. The entire field under 50 seconds. Just incredible. Sawa Nasir in the bronze medal with a 48.19. That is brutal. That is the devastation that this woman unleashed on the rest of the field. And everyone is talking about how the world record is next. And I agree, it is next. And the commentators also said the next big thing is, what does the schedule look like for the Olympics? Can she do both? Will she do both? Because all season people have been saying she's eyeing the double in LA. And I agree with that. I think that could absolutely be the case. But right now, I'm not thinking about the world record. I mean, I am. 47.60, 18 hundredths off of it this time. But Sydney is 25 years old, and that's a lot more years that I think we could watch this record fall. But I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm not thinking about LA right now. Right now, I'm thinking about the fact that today we saw two women go under 48 seconds when we haven't seen that in 40 years. For context, the last time we saw a woman run under 48 seconds in this event, my mother was 6 years old. This was everything that we could have hoped for, everything we could have dreamed of. The highlight of the night in every way. Shout out to the Botswanans, though, for making that men's race absolutely outstanding. No one could have expected that, but no one could have expected this. We are living in an unprecedented age of track and field, and it is my absolute joy to watch every single moment of it. Because when it comes down to it, these are the moments we'll be telling our grandkids about. It's this generation's miracles on ice, where we can say, I was watching when Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone ran 47.78 in Tokyo. It's so crazy, and I cannot fully express how in awe I am of everything that happened in this women's 400 meter final. Also, it was in the rain. Very few people I have seen are talking about this. She ran this in the rain. I really don't have anything else to say other than that. I wanted to revel in the beauty and joy and insanity of our sport for a little bit longer. Anyways, the championships still aren't over. There are so many more incredible moments that I know are in store, and I absolutely cannot wait to watch them. I'll be back at it watching tomorrow to see what unfolds on a wonderful Friday, and then we have Saturday and Sunday to close it all out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more professional track content. I hope that I will have many more interesting things to share with you in the coming days. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!